great! I do want to join your band. Meow, meow, meow.
Welcome to the Weekly Dairantou. The rules are simple. I pick 3 shows connected by a theme. I watch the first episode of each show, and then pit them against each other in a battle. There can be only one winner. The winner is the show I'd be most likely to continue watching. This week, our theme is bones, and I'm not talking about the ones you find in your low-grade supermarket tuna flakes. They're responsible for some truly beloved animated series, including Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, and Wolf's Rain. No, seriously, who's even heard of Wolf's Rain? Our shows this week are The Skull Man, Gothic, and Show by Rock. I wanted to make sure that after last week's pilot that I picked 3 shows that were considerably different from each other, and I think I've managed to do just that. So without further ado, get ready for the next battle! The Skull Man. The Skull Man isn't available to stream online in any official capacity, which is some short-sightedness on the part of Sentai Filmworks. Being what used to be known as ADV Films, it's no surprise that Sentai Filmworks has an iron grasp on their properties. Finding a place to watch this show online proved incredibly difficult. It's also pretty clear from this that I'm watching a fan sub and not the actual DVD subtitles, but hey, what can you do? The publisher of this show doesn't want to provide a legal streaming outlet. This show isn't available on Netflix, it isn't available on Crunchyroll. What options do I have? And I ended up having to watch the show on a website that gave my computer hentai aids. Oh, FAP CEO. Sign up to get your free gift. Yeah, no thanks, I'm good. The show isn't available in an English dub either, though I will certainly not hold that against the Skull Man one bit. Not only is the original Japanese dub a dub I consider to be of pretty high quality, I'd also wager that something could easily be lost in attempting to transition this show into English. The Skull Man begins with an ominous nighttime city scene. A young woman is chased through the streets by a pack of vicious animals. She meets her demise, presumably at the hands of a man wearing a skull-shaped mask. The Skull Man. After the opening theme, we're introduced to journalist Hayato Mikogami. He convinces his boss at whatever third-rate newspaper he works for to let him return to his hometown, Utomo City, to investigate rumors that a man wearing a skull mask is murdering people at night. On the train ride, he is forced into the train toilet by tomboy photographer Kiriko Mamiya. No, it's not like that. She was hiding from the train guards. Hayato uses his family connections to get him and his new accomplice Kiriko into the city. We learn about Hayato's past, the death of his father, who was much revered, and we get to see his old, dilapidated home. The first episode introduces us to these main characters, the setting of Utomo City, and the bizarre denizens. We learn about the city's rapid growth and development in the time that Hayato has been away, and how the midnight curfew forces people to stay indoors of a night, with those who don't falling victim to the Skull Man. The episode ends with Hayato getting thrown into a vending machine by an individual fleeing from the Skull Man. When Hayato finds the dead body of this individual shortly afterward, he collapses from blood loss and concussion. Just who is the Skull Man? Why did the chased individual possess superhuman strength? This show is mysterious and I want to know more. But with the eponymous Skull Man only being in the first episode for 2 minutes of its entire runtime, I'm certainly left disappointed. Gothic. Gothic begins on an eerie night with a blood-red moon. A hound is chasing hares and tearing them to shreds. A crazy old woman screams that in order to stop some kind of cataclysm, her followers should present her with a box to set floating on the ocean, and within it should be 1 hound and 7 hares. Now we're sufficiently freaked out, here's a pleasant sounding happy opening theme. Gotta be straight and honest with you, I picked this show because there was a gothic Lolita in it. I have absolutely no idea what this show's about. All I know is there's a gothic lolly, so this should be good. The story takes place in a small province between France, Switzerland, and Italy in the year of 1924. This fictional kingdom is called Salbere. However that is meant to be said. At the base of the Alps is a prestigious school, St. Marguerite Academy. Our main character, Kazuya Kujo, has transferred to this school. The students are very superstitious and accuse him of being a Black Reaper due to his black hair and brown eyes. He struggles to fit in, but soon makes acquaintance with a doll-like gothic Lolita named Victorique de Blois. She possesses a rather awful attitude due to being a shut-in and treats Kazuya like dirt to begin with, before eventually opening up to him. Kazuya also meets aristocrat and detective Greville, who relies on Victorique's excellent deduction and reasoning in order to solve his cases. This first episode ends with Kazuya and Victorique boarding a boat in order to investigate a strange letter they received. A mystery has begun to unfold, and I'm definitely interested in finding out more, and seeing more of Victorique as well. I mean, it's pretty obvious I picked this show because it has a gothic Lolita in it. I'm easy to please. Show by Rock. Show by Rock is based on a video game of the same name, and is based on a Sanrio property, like Hello Kitty. How can it be bad? Well, it sure gives it the good old college try. The show begins with the logo and cherry blossoms in the background. We see a Japanese high school. A girl with blue hair and red glasses is gingerly listening in on the music club through a closed door. She's Cyan Hirajikawa, our main character, a shy girl who can't drum up the courage to ask if she can join the music club. After school, Cyan is sitting on her bed playing guitar and lamenting that she didn't manage to join the club. She also apparently doesn't know how to wear clothes properly. You're not wearing it properly. After that, she grabs her phone and plays some Show by Rock to calm her nerves. The game within the anime for the game, that's some serious Inception level bullshit. But what if I told you we can go deeper? After unlocking a new guitar in the game, Cyan is sucked into her phone and teleported into the world of the game, Midi City, a place where music is power. The show suddenly transforms into a garish 3D furry fantasy with chibi foxmen, and I don't even know what the fuck is going on. There's a crystal filled with music notes, and I have no idea what any of this means or does. Then all of a sudden, the big skeleton boss from the game now exists for real inside this game world, and Chiuzo, the blonde fox thing, unmistakably played by Vic Mignogna, is that Vic? Is defeated, and the only way to put an end to this monster is for Cyan to use the guitar she unlocked beforehand. So she plays some rock music, defeats the monster, and then profit? This show is fucking awful, seriously. I actually stopped paying attention when watching and started looking at my phone. I forgot that I was even recording my reactions.
Their concert was amazing. Interrupting that kind of show is just rude.
I was just so dumbstruck by its consistent weirdness.
What? What in the flying fuck?
That's the halfway point. Where else can this go? I was ready for it to end, and there was still another 10 minutes on the clock.
Is it over yet? How long have we got?
Another fucking 10 minutes!
Gotta sit through another 10 minutes of this garbage.
We meet a weird egg thing, and there's three girls who are part of some band, and then they go back to the record label place, and the lady has big tits, and there's a thing, the bassist is a lesbian, I think, we see some big bad guy CEO, he has like parody records or something. So what do we think about Show by Rock? Yeah, that garbage is going straight into the trash. I don't think it can even hold a candle to the other two shows today. I think the show gave me an aneurysm. Then again, I'm probably not the audience for that show. I don't think there's any audience for that show. I've watched other shows like this. I've watched a good chunk of Prepara, which is another anime based on a rhythm game about idols and music, again with a similar concept, and probably likely inspired show by Rock. If you wanted to see a show that handles this kind of story correctly, and has characters that don't make you want to claw yourself to death, Prepara is what you're after. Show by Rock was basically made for nobody, and other far more successful takes on this idea exist, which could easily be used as a source of inspiration, or if done correctly, a blueprint to plagiarize and improve upon. Not in 100 years would I continue watching this garbage. You'd have to pay me. Now before we carry on, it would be remiss of me if I didn't make this abundantly clear. Just because the Weekly Dairantou picks one winner only, doesn't mean that only one show is good enough to continue watching. Before I talk about the merits of Gossick and the Skullman, I'd just like to say that based on impressions from the first episode alone, I would continue watching both Gossick and the Skullman, but only one can be the winner. Skullman is this wonderfully edgy and mysterious romp. I really enjoy the setting of the show, with the metropolis of Utomo City overshadowing the old town, walled off by the nearby dam. You've got to wonder just why that place is all walled up. You've got this rather modern-looking city, but the story, I assume, takes place in the mid-80s? Based on the weaponry used by the guards and the existence of pages. Why would a city as far ahead technologically like Utomo have such strict curfew? Something's going on here. There's bound to be an M. Night Shyamalan-style twist around the corner, and I'd certainly like to see it come to fruition. Gossick has a lot of the same major draws, plus a gothic Lolita. I'm getting strong Arthur Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes vibes from this show's style, characters and stories. I've even noticed some direct and obvious ties to the Hound of the Baskervilles with the hair slaughtering in the beginning. It strikes up imagery of Eggs Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock, with Victorique using her deduction skills to reach the absolute truth. But there has to be a reason why she rarely leaves that library tower, and I want to know it. This is one of those stories where it could basically go anywhere, and those are always the best. This has been a difficult show this week, as both of these series are incredible and worth watching in their own right. However, I think I'm ready to give my verdict.
This game's winner is
Gossick. This was a very difficult pick, but I think it all comes down to the openness of the story. There's a huge mystery at play here, and I want to feel Victorique. I want to feel like Victorique, and unravel the riddle all by myself. All this talk of a box on the ocean with a hound and 7 hares, the seer slaughtered in her own home by a foreign maid, the destroyed hand mirror, and its significance. There's something bigger about the whole picture. And if anybody can strip down to the bare essentials, it's Victorique. If anybody can strip the mystery down to its bare components, it's Victorique. I wouldn't mind seeing more of her sweet ass. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that sweet lass. So which would you have crowned the winner? Show by Rock and its saccharine, headache-inducing ultra-sweetness? The Skullman and its dark and thrilling, gritty, pseudo-realistic modern alternate history? Or Gossick and its weirdly wonderful European setting and Holmes-esque mystery? Remember to cast your vote in the cards and share your choice down in the comments below. This has been ReelAsia. You've been watching the Weekly Dairantou, and I'll see you next time. Big tits.